The political casualties just keep on coming. Today it was Labour MP and Cabinet Minister Iain Lees-Galloway after admitting an affair with a former staffer. The Prime Minister says he's opened himself up to accusations of improperly using his position and has lacked the judgment expected of a minister.
This morning I am announcing that I have dismissed Minister Iain Lees-Galloway as a minister.
After receiving the information, Jacinda Ardern put the allegations to him last night, at which time he admitted to having a consensual relationship with a former staffer.
Over the course of the conversation with the minister, it became clear to me that his position as a minister was untenable.
The affair lasted about a year. Mr Lees-Galloway's ministerial colleagues responded to his resignation on their way into question time.
The thing with the slip-ups here is that the whole country gets to see them. If you're working anywhere else, it's not public knowledge. But we know that that's the environment that we work in, and so that's why our behaviour has to be beyond reproach.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock, a bit sad, but I'll leave most of that cordial for the Prime Minister.
Sad to see an end for any colleague, but I accept her judgment on the issues and think she's got it right.
In a statement, Iain Lees-Galloway says he acted inappropriately and accepts the Prime Minister's decision. He's apologised to his family and anyone else hurt by his actions.
This morning I am announcing that I have dismissed Minister Iain Lees-Galloway as a minister. At around 3 p.m, my office received an email directly from a third party alleging that the minister had an inappropriate relationship with a former staffer who worked in one of his agencies. This was the first time that I had heard such allegations. At around 5:45 p.m. last night, I sat down with the minister and put a range of questions and allegations to him. He confirmed that a consensual relationship had occurred, that it involved someone who had previously worked in his office and had been based in one of his agencies. I want to be clear up front. I wish to protect the identity of the person, so will avoid providing any details over and above those necessary to explain my decision that may reveal who they are. I request that the media and other politicians respect this. Over the course of the conversation with the minister, it became clear to me that his position as a minister was untenable. I advised him of that at that time. The minister has shown a lack of judgment over a period of 12 months. In undertaking this relationship, he has opened himself up to accusations of improperly using his office. He has not modelled the behaviour I expect as a minister that is in charge of setting a standard at culture as Minister for Workplace Relations and Safety. His actions have ultimately led me to lose my confidence in him as a minister. The minister takes full responsibility for his actions. He fully accepts my decision. He has also decided not to stand at the next election. Carmel Sepuloni will become the Minister for ACC. Andrew Little will become the Minister for Workplace Relations and Safety. And Chris Farfoy will become the Minister for Immigration. All of these portfolio allocations will take us through to the election, at which point, of course, all portfolios are reconsidered. My final comment is this. Politics is a place where we need to maintain standards, and politicians should pay the price for mistakes. Their families should not. I do ask that we try and maintain that clear distinction here.
I call on Iain Lees-Galloway to make his valedictory statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I suspect that when I look back on my life, it will divide into two periods, before 2020 and after 2020. 2020 has been an extraordinary year for all of us. Can anyone really believe that it is still only August and not in fact 2025. For my family and me, it hasn't just been about the incredible effort of responding to COVID-19 and the lockdown. There was the near end of our marriage, the death of my father, and now the end of my political career. We even had to put the dog to sleep a few weeks ago. It's been a rough year. Just 2 weeks ago, I was not preparing to deliver my valedictory speech. But here I am, ready and happy to say goodbye. Mr. Speaker, I am leaving Parliament because I can no longer serve as a minister. And I can no longer serve as a minister because some of my actions have not been congruent with the expectations we should all have of ministers or anyone in a position of power or leadership. As Minister of Workplace Relations and Safety and as a leader in my office, it was not appropriate to have a private relationship with a staff member in a department that reported to me who worked directly with my office. We must recognise not only the imbalance of power involved, but also the impact such a relationship can have on a workplace. That's why I have to go. Anyone who thinks otherwise hasn't been paying attention. Just because it was tolerated in the past doesn't mean it ought to be in 2020. I apologise to my family. The trauma they have experienced has been excruciating. First, there was the trauma of our own private business. Then there was the dehumanising trauma of being used for headlines and clickbait by an industry that somehow thought it was appropriate to publish images of their house when they were at their most vulnerable. Every attack, every thoughtless and uninformed commentary cuts at the hearts of political families. We at least get to put our case. Our families don't. I am sorry for the hurt and humiliation I have inflicted on my family and for the direct impact of my actions on so many others.